Welcome to your weekly forecast. My name is Adina. I'm an intuitive astrologer. In these weekly videos, I go over the astrological energies for the week ahead. And in this video, I will be going over the energy for October 2nd to the 8th, 2023. If you align with my energy and enjoy my content, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Now, before I get into the weekly energies, I just want to mention that we have so many energy shifts taking place this month, and we are officially in eclipse season. So I will be creating a separate video going into the energies for October and pulling up some charts because we do have some intense energy throughout the month. So make sure you watch for that. So I want you to keep in mind that Venus is a key player the month of October. Venus is the ruler of both of the eclipses we are going to have this month, the solar eclipse in Libra and the lunar eclipse in Taurus. I am mentioning this because a lot of the energies you will be moving throughout the month are almost activated and triggered this week. And so I want you to keep that in mind. We also have a lot of significant energies this week. Now, coming into the week on Monday, we have Venus in a yod with Neptune and the South Node. And Mars is actually going to form a conjunction to the South Node October 3rd on Tuesday. So Mars is only 1 degree away from the South Node at this point. So basically, Venus is in a yod with Neptune and Mars with the South Node. Now, this can feel very intense. Venus will be forming a sextile to Mars in the South Node. And a sextile is one of opportunity or something showing up where you're required to take action with something, but the pressure is being applied to Neptune retrograde in Pisces. And what I really feel from this energy is that something may be coming up for you where you're having to really sit with energies and ask yourself, is this in alignment with you? Are you being true to yourself? Is this what you truly want? We know with Neptune, sometimes energy can become cloudy, deceptive, illusionary, seeing things with rose-colored glasses. And this is a time where we really need to be developing our intuition and trusting our intuition. At the same time, on Monday, we are going to have Mercury opposing Neptune. Now, this is where we can be having really confusing conversations, or there can be something that's deceptive within the conversation. So again, you want to be trusting your intuition. If something doesn't feel right, trust that. Listen to your intuition and really go within. And this yod with Venus and Neptune and this in conjunction between Venus and Neptune is where this is not really a time to be the best way to explain it, because even intuitively I'm feeling like it's not the time to think that time will heal. This is a time to know and understand that what you need and what you want is the most important, and that the time is now to release what is not in alignment. So you know how sometimes we can get stuck in situations or relationships where we think maybe things will get better over time. What I'm being told intuitively from my guides and from my intuitive messages and from the astrology is that this is not the time to sit and wait. It's the time to trust your intuition, and if something doesn't feel right, trust that. Trust yourself. Another energy we have on Monday is we are going to have the moon form a conjunction to Uranus, which is really going to add some challenging energy to everything we're already kind of moving through, because I always say that whenever the moon is connecting to Uranus, this can really bring on anxiety. So you definitely want to be taking care of yourself at this time. We always want to be taking care of ourselves, but if you struggle with anxiety or panic attacks, make sure you're grounding, make sure you're drinking a lot of water, you're meditating, and you're doing everything you need to do for yourself to balance your energy, because it's definitely going to be very important on Monday, especially if you're moving through anything that can be challenging. Now, also, that moon conjunction to Uranus is going to be forming a trine to Mercury. Mercury rules our mind. Mercury is still going to be in that opposition to Neptune. So we really do want to be mindful on Monday with our thoughts, not getting stuck in analysis paralysis and overthinking and driving ourselves crazy, getting stuck because Mercury is still in Virgo. We have that Virgo energy and Neptune, and the fact that Mercury is opposing Neptune, and then we have the moon and Uranus connecting to all of this, it can just be really challenging. So we want to be careful that we're not overthinking things, we're not getting in our own way, and we're not getting stuck on a specific thing. On Tuesday, we have the moon entering Gemini and forming a square to Saturn retrograde in Pisces. Now, this is, depending on your time zone, this is through the night. However, a moon square to Saturn can be where there's restrictions when it has to do with how you are expressing yourself emotionally or how you are processing emotions. So it is something to be mindful of. And then we also have Mercury forming a trine to Pluto and Mars forming a conjunction to the South Node on Tuesday. So this is where energies can really feel intense. Mercury forming a trine to Pluto can be really great for focusing, for really getting to the bottom of something. So that energy can really be utilized in a way that can be beneficial. It can feel intense because it's Pluto, but it's also an energy we can utilize to really get to the bottom of something or really become laser focused. Because again, we have Mercury in Virgo, which is already this laser focused energy, which pays attention to the details. And then we're adding in Pluto, and it is a trine. It is an easy flowing energy. So if there is anything that you really need to pay attention to, especially when it has to do with details, being very precise, where you're really having to stay focused, this is great energy for that. Now with Mars forming a conjunction to the South Node, this is where things can become intense because again, we still have that sextile between Mars, the South Node, and Venus, and that yod, and Mars forming a conjunction to the South Node, which they're in Libra, which is a Venus ruled sign. This is where I'm saying there can be a lot really showing up around relationships at this time that you want to be mindful of. Conversations. This is where something may happen that is triggered or activated, that is coming to the surface, where you are becoming aware of something that, even too, because of that Pluto energy, you're becoming aware of something maybe that you didn't know before. There can be something being shown to you at this time, which later on will almost be that pathway to why you are releasing and letting someone go or something go, if that makes sense. I really feel this week there's going to be a lot coming to the surface individually and collectively. A lot is going to be shown. A lot is going to be bubbling up that was hidden beneath the surface before. And by the time we reach the end of the week, it is going to be revealed. So it's almost like that Mercury trine to Pluto is what is revealing everything. So either there is information being presented or there is a conversation being had that is revealing, that is bringing everything to the surface. Now, late Wednesday, early Thursday, we will have the moon in Gemini form a square to Neptune and a trine to Mars. So the moon representing our feelings and emotions, forming a square to Neptune. This can be presented as not handling emotions, or not, I don't want to say handling, but not processing emotions, or not understanding or knowing how to process emotions. This can show up as deceptiveness, also escapism. We really want to be watching for any escapism, over idealizing any type of situations. With the moon in that trine to Mars, that can really heighten emotions. Mars representing anger, aggression, and conflict. And this is where it's almost like that that moon trine to Mars can override the moon square to Neptune. So it's like something is happening, you're not understanding how to process these emotions, and it's just this kind of angry outburst. Now, on Thursday, we will have the moon enter Cancer. So, this is a very strong placement for the moon. The moon is at home in Cancer. As soon as the moon enters Cancer, the moon is going to form a trine to Saturn. And so, this can really be great for really feeling like taking care of your commitments and responsibilities, getting things done. The moon is also going to form a square to Mercury at the same time. And so there's some type of blockage showing up when it has to do with feelings and emotions and your thoughts, your mind, your thinking. You may have to, again, balance your energy out, do some grounding, because there's something about your thoughts and your emotions that are not meshing well together. Now, there's not too many major aspects on Friday, but once we get into Saturday, we are going to have the moon in Cancer form an opposition to Pluto. And at the same time, we have Mars forming a square to Pluto. This is going to feel intense. Now, if you have any energy in Scorpio, because Mars and Pluto are both the rulers of Scorpio, Mars is the traditional ruler of Scorpio and Pluto is the modern ruler of Scorpio, you're going to feel this much more intensely. Now, generally speaking, this is something we will all feel. Mars square Pluto, especially Mars being so close to that south node, Mars still being in Libra, this can feel extremely intense. Now, we can be talking about power and control dynamics. Mars representing anger, aggression, conflict, Pluto representing power, control, intensity, really bringing what is beneath the surface to light. It's the most powerful almost energy. And then what is crazy too is that this square is going to stick around for a few days, and this is just before the Pluto station, which on October 10th next week, Pluto is going to station direct. So the Pluto is basically at a standstill at this point. So I want you to just be mindful on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and next Tuesday, on Saturday, and then going into next week, that there's a lot of intense energies. This energy can also be very forceful. There's a forcefulness to this where Mars is wanting balance, right? It's in Libra. Pluto is in Capricorn, this very stern Saturnian energy, this very powerful, it's almost like power control, but not budging. It's like, no, this is what I want. This is how it's going to be. This is what is presented. This is what is happening. And Mars is getting angry, saying, no, this isn't right. It has to be like this. It has to be fair. It has to be balanced. And so, of course, this can show up in many forms. We will be moving through this energy collectively and in our own individual lives. Now, you want to know where this is happening in your birth chart. I will also be, when I record my October 2023 video, I will be pulling the chart up for this aspect, this transit. So I will be getting a lot deeper into this energy as well in my October video. So make sure you watch for that. It's a lot easier too when I can actually present the chart and talk about the other energies. But keep in mind that at the same time, we are going to have the moon opposing Pluto as well. The moon being in Cancer, a sign that wants to be nurtured, that wants to feel comfortable and wants to be comforted. Comforted? Is that comforted? That sounds weird, but that's a word, right? Yeah, comforted. I want to be comforted. Anyways, yeah, the moon in Cancer is a sign they want to feel safe, secure, comfortable, nurtured. And Capricorn is not really that energy, right? They can be very emotionally detached. And Pluto's all about power and control. And so this can really be an intense energy that we just want to be mindful of. Now, this is on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we have Venus entering Virgo. And Venus being the ruler of Libra. So Venus really ruling the Mars, South Node, Sun, Mercury energy, because we have all of those energies in Libra right now. So as soon as Venus shifts into Virgo, Venus then becomes the ruler, the dispositor of Mercury, the Sun, the South Node. Well, she's always the ruler of the South Node, but Mars. Now, as soon as Venus enters Virgo, Venus is going to form an opposition to Saturn, which is going to come exact on the 10th, but we will still be able to feel it because Saturn is at 1 degrees of Pisces. And so as soon as Venus enters Virgo at that 0 degree point, it's going to be felt. So we do want to watch on Sunday, the 8th, right after. I mean, at this point, we still have Mars squaring Pluto. And so this is really adding to that intensity, especially to Venus ruling relationships. Venus also ruling that Libra energy and Mars. We really want to be careful of our relationships at this time. And like I mentioned, power and control dynamics, arguments, disagreements. So just keep that in mind over the weekends, October 7th and October 8th. And like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I talked a lot about the South Node being in Libra until January 2025 and really becoming aware of certain people and experiences, mostly people, because Libra rules relationships and partnerships in your life that are no longer in alignment. And I really feel like this is all going to be activated this week. Something's triggered and a lot is brought to the table and presented, where even things brought to the surface because of that Pluto Mars energy. And Pluto is a really big key player this month. Pluto stationing direct. And so I really feel like everything is kind of starting this week, where there can be an argument, there can be information coming in, there can definitely be something presented that ends up playing out in a way of releasing and letting somebody go at the end of the day. So this is a week where it kind of all starts this week. I wonder if that's what my thumbnail will be. It starts this week, but there is some intense energy that we are moving through. I really, really hope that this helps you move through the energies. Please feel free to comment below if you need any further guidance. Also watch for the video I will be uploading with going into the October energies and pulling up the charts. Make sure you watch for that. For all of my fellow Canadians, I will be pulling up the charts for Canada because I've had quite a few people ask for an update for Canada, so I will also be doing that in the video. And yeah, if you need any further guidance, please feel free to comment below, and I really hope this helps you move through the energies this week. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will connect with you in the next video.